You're right, guys, it's David Clayton of KZR Racing once again, and welcome back to my F1 Manager 22 career mode for round number 16 today for the Italian Grand Prix. If you guys did miss the last episode, do feel free to check out my channel, the playlist will be there. Interesting last episode. Spoiler alert, if you want to go and watch that video before I reveal it, we had a double retirement. Vettel ended up crashing into Stroll, taking them both out of the race. As you can see, as a result, as you can see on the screen, we have a lot of red exclamation marks and a low board confidence, so we need to have a good race. Well, we have to have a good race here at Monza. So we're going to go to the emails. And as you can see, difficult races are putting it mildly. Chris Cronin now has low morale because of that as well, so this is going to be one hell of a thing to do. What does he say on... well, he's still got plenty of years on his contract, so that's fine. Go back to the emails. Gearbox poor condition, 2 gearboxes in poor condition, and now our head of aerodynamics, who we just signed, has low morale. So it's all well and good, isn't it? Oh yeah, we also have, I almost forgot, we also have the regulations vote. As you know, we may change the regulations that define Formula One's rules between seasons to make the sport fairer for its competitors and more engaging for its fans. So that's a 23 race season. With these goals in mind, we are proposing a new financial regulation for 2023. In order to encourage excellence on the grid, we suggest change to season prize money amounts that favour better performing teams. Please see below. Yeah, we're not doing that. It's already bad enough that the top teams have already got a distance over us in the standings. They don't need any more. Right. We are... Okay, so... Oh. We are missing a chassis for Sebastian. Why do we only have 2 chassis? I thought I made 4 of those things. Oh, great. Right, manufacture. Number 2, 3, emergency. I've got to do this now because yeah, I have to do this now because I can't not go without them. So let's confirm that. So now that's that done. Right, we also need I need to manufacture some more of these as well. How many have we got? Change. Yeah, we've only got 2 left now as a result of that. So manufacturer for emergency. Unfortunately, I've got to spend a whole load of money. I told you this was going to be a big repair bill in the last episode, guys. It's now 3.25 million already. Rear wing. Manufacture. Change. Okay, we've dropped a rear wing there, so we need 1 of them. Now, side pods, change. Okay, side pods got away with it. The underfloor did not on one of them, so manufacture. This is now 4.5 million. I've been keeping, just been keeping up with. Oops. Suspension change. Okay, we're all good on suspension, so that's fine. Right. Underfloor change. Yep. So we're all good. We're all back to normal now on that front. So that's all the car stuff done. All put back together. We also have a development point on Stroll, which we will use. We will go Pace, reactions, consistency, racecraft. Right, we'll up his braking again, and he now goes up to 80 overall. Doing that, so. And then we got a development point for Jack as well. So he's actually really good on this pace front. 75 cornering, braking 82. Okay, so let's focus on. Let's go to adaptability. That'll be the best thing to do. That is the lowest one, aside from smoothness. Whoops. Right. So with that, we are okay on that front. Staff. Yeah, we've got two people who are low. We've also got a development point for her, so we will medium speed downforce on that front. Anyone else? Ben Mitchell's got one as well, so on the feedback. There you go. That seems to be everything. Nothing else out of the ordinary, so yep, that's about everything at the moment, guys. So the only thing left to do now, oh, we've got the boardroom completed as well. So Italian Grand Prix preview, and the boardroom has been upgraded. So the board confidence should be a little bit better now. All conditions of these aren't too bad. Staff facilities, their conditions okay. Operation facilities, they're still alright for the moment. So, if we go to the cars, back to the cars again. Car developments, current projects. Got 5 engineers on the rear wheel. Okay, we've got 5 engineers available again. So now, new project, research. What have I done? I've done underfloor front wing, doing the rear wing now. We will do the chassis now. We've also stocked up on the time for the CFD and the wind tunnels, so let's go and do what we need to do here. So engine cooling, drag reduction, so research focus, drag reduction all the way up. Engine cooling improves and the airflow improves anyway, so yeah, full focus on the drag reduction. That's where we want to go with that. So development settings, engineers, throw all of them we got at it. And let's see what we can do with the chassis. So that's going to take, that's only going to take 24 days. That's still going to get done before the rear wing, so that's actually quite amusing, that. So yeah, that's everything for admin, guys. So let's go through into practice and see how we can get on.
Welcome to life in the fast lane. We're here at Monza in Italy, the home of Ferrari. But who will take home the points this weekend? Let's find out as we get started with the Italian Grand Prix. Monza, a centurion among circuits, dripping with motorsport history. Expect to see cars fly by, as 80% of the track is tackled at full throttle. It's not all go, however, and brakes can be prone to overheating through the tight chicanes that Monza has to offer. With the season nearly concluded, time is running out for the team. Can anyone make a last-minute breakthrough? Can the leading drivers hold on? Only time will tell. Stay right here, because we're just getting started.
Okay, so going into the weekend, we're going to be dry during practice, but there's light rain during the race, so that's going to be an interesting proposition to see how that goes. At the moment, we're going to do what we've always done. We're going to send them out for practice 1, see where they stand here. So, grid penalty for Lewis Hamilton. In regards to us, yeah, business as usual. Stuck at the back between with Albon in between us. Only 37 and 40 for the setup confidence. So let's see what we can do here. Let's have a look at Sebastian first. Yeah, he's miles off. So let's see what we can do. Okay, we've gone for here for Sebastian. We've got his straights all the way over to max, so that should hopefully give optimal setting. It all depends on the rest of it, particularly his cornering. That's the main thing that I'm going to be concerned about. I'm going to put him onto the hard tyres. 22 lap run time as usual. And as for Lance, yeah, it's all the same. So, give me a second, guys. Okay, we'll see how here goes for Stroll. I imagine we're going to have to do a bit of a compromise here, but we'll have to see how things go. Same as usual, hard tyres, 22 lap run time. It's a fast lap, so they're probably going to need all of that to get their laps in. So we're going to cut ahead now and go to the end of their runs and see how they do. We'll stop if anything happens in the middle, in between setting up the cars, but we'll see how things go. Well, we've just come through here. It's saying the gearbox is showing signs of wear, and I do believe I've done an absolute idiocy by not changing the gearbox. Well, the thing is, we're going to be at the back of the grid anyway, so I probably may have to just change the gearbox and take the penalty, but yeah, that's my own fault for doing that. That's my absolutely 100% my own fault. I didn't pay attention. I saw it in the emails, I just completely forgot about it because I went about fixing the rest of the car. But what can you do, guys? Okay, we just got to the end of practice. Their fastest times, they are at the back of the grid. Albon was on the softs and Latifi was also on the hards, but I'm not reading too much into the practice. We got 89% on Sebastian, which is pretty good. Stroll says 72, but I know we got him up to 82 on his first run, so I've got to find out where I went wrong on his setup. As for Sebastian, let's have a look at, we'll do Stroll first. Okay, this should be the region for Stroll, I hope. So, let's see how that does for him. We're going to go back. Car parts. Right, I am going to do this now. I am going to incur a penalty, I know, but we need to do this. I've got to do the same on Sebastian's car as well. Then we go to the tyres, bolt on set of mediums, and then do the run plan. So that's Stroll all sorted. Now let's have a look at Sebastian. We'll do the car parts first, get that gearbox sorted. That's that done. Now, what's he saying on confidence setup? So we're optimal on 3. Great on cornering. We just need to do a little tweaking with the braking stability. So give me a second. Okay, we've only made a little tweak without affecting anything else. So we'll see how that goes for Sebastian. Medium, 22 laps. Again, same as before with the practice 2 guys. We'll skip through to the end. We'll stop if anything happens in between, and we'll see how things go. Okay, we've just got yellow flag notification come up for several cars involved in an incident. Fortunately, my guys are still going, so a multiple practice crash. So it's Alonso and Yuki. Oh! Yuki Tsunoda did what Sebastian did last race, locked up and went straight into the back of Alonso. Fernando is not going to be too happy with the young Japanese driver. Vettel has run wide and he's damaged the underfloor this time. This is starting to get a little bit worrying, Sebastian, that you keep doing this. It's only minor damage. Well, I need to get him up on his setup confidence, so I'm not going to make the mistake of stopping like I did last time. I'll have to fix it after practice, but yeah, it's starting to become a reoccurring theme now, and I'm starting to worry for Sebastian. Okay, end of third final practice. Bit of a weird session. We got Albon was in 15th, but we got Alonso never got his car repaired, and Tsunoda didn't really do much, so not really sure what to make of these guys and that, but the fact that Albon is nearly 1.5 tenths faster than us on hard tyres while we were on softs is, yeah, something a little bit weird is going on there, but as you can see, we got 91 on Sebastian, 95 on Stroll, so we're pretty good there. I changed Vettel's underfloor in the middle of the thing. I thought might as well, he's got the high setup, just get as much track climatisation as we can, so not as full like Lance Stroll, but I thought it's better just to do it now and get it done. So now, yep, there's the grid penalty for Sebastian. There should be one for Stroll as well, which I'm assuming is going to come through. But yeah, let's go through to qualifying and see how we can do. Okay, just coming to the end of their first laps now. Stroll's coming down the parabolic and he's just going to catch a slow McLaren. I hope that doesn't slow him down too much. But he's going to get a little bit of a slipstream as he goes towards the line. So I wonder if that might help. 24-0. As for Sebastian, he comes across and does a 23-8 by the seams. What that seems like. Perez has obviously gone quicker, but at the moment we'll have to see how things go. I know Sebastian's probably going to be starting at the back of the grid anyway, so that's not inconsequential for him, but we'll have to see how things go. Okay, we've just got the end of the first runs now. Don't read too much in the times on the left-hand side because, as you can see, numerous drivers have had gotten quite held up behind other cars. As you can see, we got Ocon, Zhou, Hamilton and Ricciardo down here with us, but that will change before the end of this session. It's just a case of when to send the guys out first. I do plan to send Vettel out first. He's going to start at the back of the grid anyway, so we might as well give him the opportunity to see what he can do. So there comes the last car. That's Bottas, I believe it is. The last car just on his way in. So we're going to send Sebastian out as soon as Bottas goes past, which is now. I might as well send Stroll out now because there goes the first car. So everyone else is going to be coming out now, as you can see. So this is the best time to go. So let's skip to the end of the quali lap and see what the guys can do. Okay, end of the quali laps now, just out of Ascari. As Vettel and Stroll go side by side. Stroll's getting a little bit of a toe off Sebastian. I hope he is anyway, so that should give him Stroll a better time. As we see Sebastian cross the line. He improves by a tenth. Stroll only improves by half a tenth, so Stroll's already out, and he's been out-qualified by Vettel. So Albon's crossed the line. He hasn't improved. That's a shocker. Ocon crosses the line. He does improve, predictably. Stroll and Latifi have set their times, so Hamilton, he's going to improve. There he goes. So now it's just Zhou and Ricciardo. Ricciardo's going to cross the line first, so... And he does so. Yep, we're out. Understandably so. Here comes Zhou. Yep. So we actually have good pace with Vettel. He's going to start at the back of the grid anyway, so it's not too much of a shocker. But it's encouraging to see he's actually got the pace. But unfortunately now Albon's going to start ahead of both of us. So, but again, it depends as well because Tsunoda got a penalty for his crash with Alonso. So let's. Yeah, so we'll skip through to the race now and see how well we can do. Okay, we just come through onto the strategy screen, and we are starting on the intermediates. So this is going to be it's going to be raining for pretty much the whole race, with only like a couple of clear-up periods in between. I'm going to probably wing it with Stroll and see how he does, but as for Sebastian, I'm going to alter this strategy. Get him on the inters. Get him on a second set of inters. And that's 28 is probably... That'll probably be the better time, 28-29. So, if we do a fixed one for Seb, and then wing it with Stroll, we'll see how things go in the race. So, we got track water. It's going to go up and down and so much. So, yep. So that will do for these guys. Let's go through into the race and see what they can do.
The drivers are now lined up in position. The weather, a light shower. We'll see how that affects things. Looking at Lance Stroll. They'll be starting the race from the bottom half of the grid, so there's a fair bit of ground to make up. And for the second driver, it's Sebastian Vettel. They're starting in the bottom half of the grid today, so there's a lot of cars between them and the podium. Will their hard work pay off today? Here we are at the oldest circuit in Europe.
There's green flag. 5 red lights to the Italian Grand Prix.
It's lights out
and we are away. Let's get on to deploy with Stroll.
Use energy. Okay.
And both the Williams have, for whatever reason, gotten the best start imaginable and overtaken the Haas ahead of us. How does that work out?
There's an overtake from Williams.
So I keep and we've already just been dropped already. I've only just started this race and already I've had enough of it. Right, don't fight your teammate, Stroll. Just don't fight him. I'm not interested in this. What's it? Right, as for Sebastian. Problem is because both Williams have now gotten ahead of the Haas of Magnussen, I'm assuming that is. It's already saying the tyres are starting to get warm. So the Williams have already gotten ahead of us. If this game does this thing like it did in Austria, where it tries to stiff me and give the points to Albon, I'm actually just going to quit and start again. I wish I was making that up, but I'm really not, because I can't handle this. Look at this. Latifi's gotten ahead of one of the Hasses, which is just going to make our lives a whole lot more difficult for no reason.
Use energy if you need it. Use energy.
Yeah, okay.
Of course, we've got no DRS, which is just going to make this whole thing thick. Lance, we're not playing this game. Leave Sebastian alone. So, status quo for now, guys. Albon's going to get away because Latifi's in front of us, which is not what I needed to happen, as we needed to have a good race. So for now, there's probably going to be a lot of skipping involved in this race, so don't expect to hear from me too much. So let's see how we get on. Yeah, we just cut to Vettel's just gotten past Latifi, which is what I needed him to do. So now I need to get away and push away from Latifi. There's a yellow flag ahead of us in the first section. There's Bottas. Where's he gone? He's locked up and gone straight off at turn 1. So we should get a free place out of that. As Vettel's managed to keep ahead of Latifi. So now, like I said, I just need Sebastian to push away and try and catch up to the back of Magnussen, who's caught up to the back of Albon already. And now Stroll, now that that's done, you can come off that and you can actually start fighting Latifi now, which is what I need you to do. So now, let's see what we can. Let's see what happens later on. Okay, the track has dried up a little bit.
DRS is enabled, Lance.
We've got DRS now as well, so we're still not quite getting into Albon's region. Unfortunately, fortunately for us, he's not within. He's not within Magnussen's region, so I'm hoping. I know the rain's going to come back again in a minute, so there's no point in us pitting. So I just want to focus on getting Vettel up to the back of Albon. That's the only thing I want to. That's the only thing I want to get done today. So now, it's been going through this weird thing of falling in and out of DRS. In and out of the time, we get close to a certain degree, and then all of a sudden he just falls away again. So I don't know how, unless Albon makes a mistake somewhere, but I don't know how we're going to end up getting close to him. Stroll's right on the back of Latifi, but he's not doing anything. So as we now come down to go on to deploy. Just see if we can get. So he's fallen away to 1.8 now. So I don't know.
All okay on fuel.
Drop back to neutral. So yeah, I don't know how Albon's just not making any mistakes right now. We're just stuck in this limbo state of being held at just over 1.5 behind Albon. So until Albon actually makes a mistake, I can't really do anything. As for Stroll, we'll stick with Stroll for a little bit as we go round the second part of Lesmo.
Yep.
Just try and get him up closer to the back of Latifi. See if we can get him at least in range for a move, which is so I'm hoping if we can. The only thing I can hope for is if we can get past Latifi with Stroll and then just catch up to Sebastian. So they've cancelled DRS again. They never came up with a notification, so it's just not quite close enough. So Vettel's dropped back to 1.9 now, behind Albon. So I'm going to cut away for a little bit, guys, and we'll have to see what happens later. And now, at long last, Stroll has gotten past Latifi around the outside of turn 1, which gives him the inside for 2. So that's good driving by Stroll. He's finally got past Latifi. So now, hopefully with both drivers now, if Stroll can catch up. The track is flittering between getting damp and drying up again, as Sebastian's getting a little bit low on fuel. But yeah, the track is flittering between this weird state of getting dry and getting wet again. So I don't know how to approach that. As you can see, it's just done it again. Can you... For every single notification. So Stroll, hopefully if he can start slowly catching up to Sebastian. He's fallen 2.2 behind Albon now. Albon's just inching and inching away. So at the moment, with Sebastian's pit stop, I'm not too sure what to do, because I don't want him to so I don't want him to pit too early in that, but at the same time, what is everyone else going to do? I don't want to pit him until Albon pits. And then as for Stroll, I may just risk it with Stroll and try and go the whole race on this one set of tyres, because of the way the tyre wear's panning out. So I'll have to see, but we'll see. But at the moment, Vettel's just falling further and further away from Albon. And I don't really, yeah. I just don't really know how to approach the thing. Albon's just faster than us at the moment. And we just had a notification through. Magnussen just ahead of us locked up, and that was at turn 1 as well. So we've all gained a place because of that. We're now not last on the grid, but Magnussen is going to catch back up to us. He's not that far behind Latifi. But at the moment, we're just stuck in this, like I said, just stuck in this state of limbo. Not making any real progress, to be honest. So, yeah, we'll just skip through, guys, and see how things go. Right, just come up to the end of lap 36 now. You haven't missed much, guys. It has been a pretty dull affair, in all honesty. We're still way behind. We're still 3.5 seconds behind Albon. We've just been slowly falling back. In the meantime, Stroll has just been caught by Magnussen, but we have got the leaders coming up behind us as well. So the leaders have already caught us, and no one has stopped. I want to point out, no one has actually stopped this entire race. We're all still going on this set of intermediate tyres that are now down to 51%. If we look at the tyre life, Albon's not losing any more tyres than what we've already got. Meanwhile, Magnussen and Latifi, I don't know. We've got, what's that? It's going to be 16 laps to go now for all the leaders. It's just a case of if any of them are going to stop before the end. It's been a weird race because the rain has been balanced on more and more coming, and the rest of it drying off. It's just been balanced on that little knife edge the whole time. Stroll's going to let the leader through. Going to get him on deploy and pushing, just to try and keep Magnussen at bay.
Energy if you need it. Okay.
So that's all good. He's just kept ahead of him. We'll leave him on push now. He's got a little bit of fuel to play with. But yeah, we're just in this state of no one. I don't really know what's going to happen. We've got the tyre wear to go to the end. We've got the tyre wear to do that, but it's just a case of anyone pulls the trigger. Because in regards to Albon, Latifi, and ourselves, we haven't really got much to lose by staying out. We might as well. All of us are pretty much probably going to stay out most likely, but I'm hesitant to pull the trigger on us because I want to see myself if Albon pits, because if he does, then I'm going to leave the guys out and risk it, because we've got that period of dry weather for about 2 to 3 laps towards the end of the race. So it's a little bit touch and go really on whether anything happens, but we'll have to see. Right, catching Albon on track is now out of the question now, because we just start getting swallowed up by the leaders, sorry, and we're just slipping further and further away from Albon. So my only hope is that he decides to make a late pit stop, because outside of that we're not beating him today. He's just been, Albon's just been faster than us this weekend. Can't even front to that. As soon as he and Latifi got ahead of that Haas of Magnussen at the start, that was pretty much it for our hopes of fighting him. So yeah, disappointing really. We wanted to have a good race, but that's not going to happen.
Copy.
Yeah, coming towards the end of the race now. Just coming towards the end of the race now, and yeah, you just get out of the way, please. Magnussen's dropped back a little bit from us. No one has pitted. So, but Vettel, a little bit too late, a little bit too little too late. He did, after all those back markers go through and got the gap back to where it was before, he has started closing in on Albon. So it's a shame. That stages we could have had a.
3 more laps.
That stages we could have probably had a race, but the engineer just said 3 more laps. No, we've only got 2 more laps because the leaders have already lapped us. But yeah, outside of that, I'm not going to say anything in regards to Stroll because I know what's going to happen if history's taught us anything. But as things stand, we've got Verstappen has been quietly going about his business in the lead, and unless he makes a mistake, he's going to take not a dominant victory, but certainly a comfortable one. It hasn't really been challenged since the start of the race, but he's done a very solid job this time. This is only going to be, believe it or not, this is only going to be his 2nd win of the season if he gets there. Then in the background we've got Sainz, who's winning the inter-team battle at Ferrari ahead of Leclerc. And then Perez down in P4. He hasn't really troubled the Ferraris at all. driver of the day again, Guan Yu Zhou, has been running P5 the entire race after being challenged by Norris, Hamilton, and Russell was up there with him, but I think he's pitted.
Last lap.
Yeah, he made a late pit stop. So Russell is the only person on this grid who's actually stopped for tyres. So that shows how well the tyre wear's been faring. But yeah, at the moment, we've got ourselves. Vettel has actually now gotten the gap down to 3 seconds. So on the worn tyres, he's actually catching up to Albon, which is a bit of a somber thing. If the tyre wear was a little bit, if the tyre degrade was a little bit heavier, we probably could have probably could have had a decent scrap with Albon at the end, but as such, too little too late. Meantime, Max Verstappen will round Parabolica and come up to the line to win his second race of the season. Max Verstappen wins the Italian Grand Prix, his second win of the season. His last one was towards the start of the season, round 4 or 5, I believe. Carlos Sainz will take second. Leclerc will round out the podium. It's a double Ferrari podium at Monza. Not the 1-2 that Tifosi would have liked, but it is as is. Perez crosses the line 4th. Albon just came in through in the background for P16. Vettel 17. And then we got Stroll. He will hold off Magnussen to the line, so that's a great drive from Stroll, but not as good as this man. Guan Yu Zhou will take another P5 outside of the top 2. He's been doing really good these last few races. This is now his second P5 in 3 races, I believe that is. Norris will finish just ahead of Hamilton behind, and then Ricciardo is going to be chased by Bottas all the way to the line. So Bottas, having locked up and dropped to the back at the start of the race, managed to come through for points in the end. And Alonso will just hold off Russell for the final points position in the top 10. And then Schumacher, the last car on track, will cross the line soon. But in regards to us, Stroll, decent performance from Stroll. He did very well to hold off Magnussen throughout that entire, nearly 30 lap stint. He just held Magnussen at bay, so very good performance from Stroll today. Probably could have been better if we didn't get unlucky at the start, being caught up behind Magnussen, ironically. And that allowed Albon to get away from us, but we still managed to finish ahead of Magnussen. Sebastian was catching Albon towards the end, so that is a good sign all round. But yeah, like I said, a little bit frustrating that Albon got the start he did. The Albon luck striking again. But as of right now, if we go to the standings, Leclerc and Sainz, look at that, they're both tied on points at the top of the championship. Leclerc being ahead due to his virtue of more race wins. In the meantime, like I said, Verstappen now moves up to 3rd ahead of Perez with his second win of the season, which is mad to think about considering he's the highest rated driver on the game. Perez will still remain in P4, only 1 point behind his teammate. Hamilton will hold on to P5. Russell still holding on to P6. Bottas, though, he's slowly catching up to him. He's pulled away a little bit from Alonso as well. And then Gasly and Ocon will round out the top 10. Championship, no change there for any of the two. Sorry, I lie. Alfa Romeo actually move up ahead of Alpine now with that double points finish. So Zhou, putting in his work, has actually gotten Alfa Romeo ahead of Alpine in the standings. So the fight for P4 between these two is on. Zhou actually, meanwhile, speaking of that, is only 2 points behind Ocon in the Drivers' Championship. So a few more results like that for the Zhou, and he'll definitely be up there. Meanwhile, McLaren has caught up to Haas with their double points finish as well. Meanwhile, here we are, still tussling over Williams to see who gets the wooden spoon. But yeah, it's more solid performance that round. Wish we could have done better, but it is what it is, unfortunately. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, now that that's all done for next race, I'm going to see if I can get, Jack in the car, get him his first practice session in under his belt. But everything is. It was a solid race, but the ball confidence is still low, unfortunately. So we need to do something about that. We've got only 6 rounds to go, including the next one at Singapore, and we've got 18 days to it. So we'll have to see, guys. We got a few things coming in as well. That's we got a few things coming in. Hopefully, we got. We're still waiting for the facility, the design centre. That's still 46 days away, so we haven't really got. We can't really do much in regards to that. The race engineer morale's back up. Driver morale's okay. Unfortunately, the ball confidence is still low at the moment, primarily because of that. Yeah, pretty much as we expect. We got the race performance. 2 disappointed. We got disappointed for Monza as well. So that's primarily because of Albon finishing ahead of us. So we got to make sure we finish ahead of Albon in the last few races. But objectives, finances, we're still in no debt. So I'm hoping we're still going to be okay in regards to our job. But it's not looking good at the moment, so we'll have to see. But for now, guys, we're going to round off the episode there. Sorry there wasn't much to go on this episode. It was a pretty dull affair. No, only one car having a pit stop that whole race, so we couldn't jumble up the order. But that's a wet race at Monza, it seems. So hopefully we'll have a dry race next time. But for now, guys, hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did like it, do feel free to leave a like and a comment. It really helps. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of those videos. I'm David Clayton of KZR Racing, and we'll see you next time for the Singapore Grand Prix. Goodbye.